Well, this is sort of the things of my nightmare. I swear part of my backyard has looked like this from time to time. And I know other people have had the experience of having to pull out all kinds of weedy invasives and, Johnson grass. Oh, but now we have Zach and all his little gardening friends.
And my 100+ four-legged lawnmowers. Yeah.
Well, we're out here at the Metro Center levee on the riverside, and it's really steep, and I wouldn't want to have to be out here with the lawnmower. So you got your Chew crew here.
We do. We do. They're working hard. We've got 3 miles from bridge to bridge here along the Cumberland River Greenway, and we are working hard to clear all the invasive species and hopefully work toward a native warm season grasses meadow effect along the levee.
Well, this is really neat. So all this stuff we see up in here, I know it's a problem for the levee because it starts to sort of chew up the levee and make it not so protective anymore. So we got to get rid of it. But what kind of invasives have you found up?
Oh man, this place has the grand slam of invasives. If it's in Tennessee, it's probably on this site. I mean, just behind you, there's privet. Everybody knows privet. There's honeysuckle, both bush honeysuckle and Japanese honeysuckle. There's mimosas. There's invasive pears. There's we could just walk around and look. It wouldn't take too long to find some new ones. But this place it's overwhelmed. It's it's a tough site to manage. So you can see it was easy to kind of let it go. And if you let it go to its own devices, you kind of end up with this. You get a lot of woody, invasive shrubs and trees.
Well, it's certainly not good for the levee. It's not good for the wildlife.
You're right. You're right. So not only is the Corps of Engineers and Metro Water concerned about the integrity of the levee, but also, they're really interested in the plant composition and how that might help the native wildlife. So, if you go up and look on the other side of the levee where it's mowed Bermuda, and then you go on this side, especially elsewhere where we've done a lot of work and it's a field of native warm season grasses, there's so much life. There's turtles and rabbits and hawks and songbirds, and it's great, it's beautiful, but you can also just enjoy it and appreciate it because you can see it and access it and be a part of it, whereas right now it's kind of overwhelmed.
Well, this whole process, okay, first of all, we have eating machines.
We do.
It seems to me they eat, they chew their cud, and they sleep, and then they eat again.
Like clockwork, yes.
I can see here some of the branches they've already been eating on and really have seriously defoliated, which is great.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of crushing of grasses going on here as they eat them up. We got some more eating down there.
Right.
So what other things does sheep bring to this whole environment?
Oh man, I could talk all day about why I think sheep are a good landscape management tool. Real quick, in terms of cost, like this kind of site, because it's so steep and overgrown, would be pretty expensive. So that's one of the reasons Nashville looked to the Chew crew as a solution, because we can manage these sites for a much more affordable rate. More than that though, environmentally, they're so much more sensitive to the soil. They're light-footed, versus a heavy machinery which might turn and make a lot of tracks and kick up a bunch of mud and cause erosion. These guys are very easy on the land. They fertilize as they go, but everything that needs to be cleared from about ground to about head height, they'll defoliate and get rid of. So that opens up the opportunity to come in and clear it by hand or whatever the next method may be. And beyond all that, beyond the economics and the environmental part of it, what makes me so excited about this job is that it engages the public with the process. It'd be hard to get people as excited about herbicides and noisy lawnmowers, but with sheep, people they can see it happening, they can hear it, they can smell it, they can just engage with it. It's more entertaining, and it's kind of a catalyst for just getting people out to the site, which to me is important.
Well, the sheep clearly have been here recently.
They have. They just moved off this site, and you can tell everything around us has been defoliated to overhead high. The grasses are not completely gone. They've just been kind of compressed, and all the dead foliage is on the ground, so it's like a natural mulch. But the problem plants, the ones that we want to manage, are now totally accessible and visible. So the next step is to come through and cut all of these invasive trees and shrubs like honeysuckle and a Bradford pear, a Callery pear, all these plants, and they'll be cut about ankle height. And from that point, everything that grows is going to be tender and totally edible for the sheep. So with the sheep coming back twice a year, these trees will never get a chance to get to this point again. And hopefully, by putting the herd on them twice a year with sheep, eventually we'll exhaust them, never have to use herbicides or heavy machinery to remove them. But perhaps more importantly, the roots are all still intact, maintaining the integrity of the levee itself. So.
Well, this is really quite the dream come true now, isn't it? Look at all these grasses.
I am very proud of this section. This has been grazed twice and vegetation has been removed once. And yeah, this is what we're left with. I think the sheep are pretty effective landscape managers.
Oh my gosh. And let's see, so what kind of grasses do we have coming up here?
Quite a few. A lot of native warm season grasses, all these kind of bunches that you can see, providing great cover and food for the wildlife. So we've got songbirds and rabbits and turtles, everything. It's a lot of wildlife in this section, which is really cool. But specifically, I've seen a lot of panic or switchgrass, Indian grass, some andropogon, some solidago, and then a host of other forbs and grasses that are native and beneficial, and also good sheep food. So hopefully we're getting on a good plan here for the years to come.
If you happen to be out on the levee one day and you see a lot of sheep, well, just give them a little round of applause, because trust me, they are weeding things that none of us want to get into. So thank you so much, Zach, and thanks to all your little sheep.
Well, thank you very much, and I'll tell the crew.
For inspiring garden tours, growing tips, and garden projects, visit our website at volunteergardener.org or on YouTube at the Volunteer Gardener channel, and like us on Facebook.